This video is going to cover the topic of assurance and how it relates to an external audit. We're going to cover the definition of assurance, the external audit, the 5 elements of an assurance engagement, and the levels of assurance that can be provided. When we give assurance, we are giving our opinion on something. Therefore, an external audit is an example of giving assurance. To define assurance, we are given the following. A practitioner evaluates a subject matter that is the responsibility of another party against a criteria to express a conclusion to the user of the subject. To help remember this definition, we will highlight the key words: practitioner, subject matter, responsible party, conclusion, and user. We can apply this terminology to what we know about an external audit to see how it relates. Our practitioner is our external auditor. Our subject matter is the financial statements. The responsible party is the client management. The conclusion is the audit opinion, and the users are the shareholders or other intended users. This definition applies to any other assurance provider also, for example, building surveyors for new properties, and by personalising the definition in this way, it helps remember the key terminology. By providing assurance, like the auditors provide assurance on the financial statements, you are giving confidence to the users when making decisions and enhancing the credibility of the information in the financial statements. There are 5 elements of any assurance engagement. The 3 parties involved, the practitioner, the responsible party and the user. The subject matter. A suitable criteria which the subject matter is evaluated. Sufficient appropriate evidence. And a written assurance report. Therefore, for our external audit, the 3 parties are the auditor, the management and the shareholders. The subject matter is the financial statements. The suitable criteria is the applicable financial reporting framework used to prepare the financial statements. Sufficient appropriate evidence is collected by the auditor through the audit procedures carried out and review of the financial statements. And the assurance report is the audit report. Finally, we should review the levels of assurance an assurance provider can give. The IAASB tell us there are 2 levels, reasonable and limited. For reasonable assurance to be provided, the practitioner must provide sufficient appropriate evidence in order to form reasonable conclusions. This requires a high level of assurance to be provided, and so a high level of detail is provided in the practitioner's procedures. The practitioner will then issue a positive report or opinion. Therefore, our external auditor carries out thorough audit procedures to gather enough evidence which ensures an external audit provides reasonable assurance. The audit report is a positive report as it states that the financial statements are or are not true and fair. In comparison, a limited assurance engagement provides sufficient appropriate evidence in order to form limited conclusions. This requires a moderate level of assurance and a moderate level of detail required in the practitioner's work. The practitioner will then issue a negative report or opinion. Auditors may provide other services to their clients and may be asked to review information for them as a separate assignment. Therefore, to review something for a client requires less detailed work in comparison to an external audit. Also, when reviewing information regarding future events, for example a review of a cash flow forecast, it is impossible to give a positive opinion as we cannot predict future events. The wording is different in a negative opinion. Typically, the term "nothing has come to our attention" when reviewing is used in this type of report. To summarise this video, assurance is giving your opinion on something. External auditors are assurance providers. There are 5 elements of an assurance engagement: the 3 parties, the subject matter, the suitable criteria, the sufficient appropriate evidence, and the assurance report. and there are two levels of assurance that can be provided, reasonable and limited, with the external audit providing reasonable assurance. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.